Hello, Chequamegon community. This is Darren Patterson, the athletic director, joining you. And it's been a long time since we spotlighted someone, so our apologies for that. But as we're in the swing of the winter sports season, I'm joined here by our head boys basketball coach, Mr. Thomas Tollakson. And Thomas, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet. Now, for those of you out there that might not know much about Coach Tollakson, he's from a different part of the state of Wisconsin. Probably about 5-6 hours away.
About 5 hours to the south.
Okay, and he's from Argyle, Wisconsin, where he grew up, not too far from Platteville.
Platteville, Monroe, yep.
Okay, and he went to school at UW-Stevens Point for 3 years, then went to Platteville, got his elementary education degree, was hired in Mercer, and now finds himself here at Chequamegon, where he's doing a nice job as a current 5th grade teacher for us. And he's our boys basketball coach. So, Coach, obviously, I think people that attend the games, they know you have a strong passion for wanting to do well with things, and you take a lot of pride in the teams that you coach. And you've done a really good job of kind of getting us kick-started here a little bit with not just our boys basketball program, but our girls too, with some of the youth stuff that you've been doing as far as Little Eagle dribblers on Saturdays, and now like this coming Saturday, we have a lot of 3rd through 6th grade boys and girls that are going up to Ashland to play basketball. So kind of tell us a little bit about all that youth basketball that, well, let's just be honest, you got the ball rolling with it. Tell us how that all got started and why it's so crucial and important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being a varsity head coach, boys or girls basketball, I just think I think it's pretty obvious to a lot of people, but you have to have those youth programs. It's just so important to continue to feed into your middle school and up through your high school. So I really learned that back in Argyle because I coached youth baseball for actually 11 years in the summer. So that to me was just how I learned how I could help the high school programs in Argyle. In Mercer, I just spent a lot of time on Saturday mornings doing what we called, Little Tigers, obviously. And now here we obviously call it Little Eagles. But it's just so crucial for a couple reasons. You get to help build that family atmosphere, not only with the kids, but with the actual families themselves. For me, I was new to Chequamegon, so it helped me learn about some of the families. I got to meet people, so now I know a lot more people than I did when I first got here, of course. And just that, you start to instill those skills and those concepts, the fundamentals that, we emphasize in our programs and think it's important, that we think is important. So now when we have 4YK, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd graders learning these skills, if these students, we hope enjoy basketball and find a love for the game. So now when they get into, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, they have that foundation. Of course, it helps for our success, but it also makes it more fun for the kids too, because they can compete at a high level. And you can start to see that now with, I would say, I guess our probably sophomore and freshman classes. They're some of the kids that we had in the youth levels, but in the next few years, you're really going to see kids who we started out with, 2nd, 3rd, 4th graders, they're going to be coming up here in the next few years as freshmen. So I think that's pretty to see that come full circle is fun for me as a coach. But I think it's really starting to help a lot of these families. We have a lot of parents who are really committed. We have parents coaching on Saturday in Ashland. Mr. Patterson is one of them, coaching the 3rd and 4th grade girls. Without the help of parents and volunteer coaches, 1 or 2 people cannot make a program go, and it takes many people being willing to commit to it. So the Ashland League is something that Ashland started. Amanda Popovich started with a group of people from Ashland last year. I think they're doing a phenomenal job. They're very invested in the youth in our area. They put hours in the scheduling. I have a lot of respect for them being willing to organize that. Yeah. I don't think people have any idea how many hours it takes to get officials, a schedule. And so for them to do that in a place where they can do it.
Yeah.
The field house in Ashland is one of the few places in the local area that has that capability. So the kids get up there, you'll see it, Mr. Patterson on Saturday, but they really get excited for the most part, because you'll see basketball, 6 courts going on at one time. I think that's really huge for our program, for boys and girls to be invested, but also for the families to be a part of that too.
Yeah. Well, and it's just phenomenal what we've seen in the last 3 or 4 years. When we have like Little Eagles dribblers, like when we do halftime shows, we'll have as many as 70 or 80 kids out on the court dribbling. So, that is optimism for the future, and it certainly shows good signs for our community too. And I've been telling people that the last couple of years in particular, we've seen an uptick in the terms of parent involvement with our elementary school. We got a really good, vibrant elementary parent group right now. We see it with our PTO events at night where we get over 100 families to come in. Like the basketball numbers are there, and we see it trickle down in some other programs that we do, that parents in our community simply just want their kids doing things. And that's encouraging to us here at school because, when you look at the success of building a program, it's really about establishing a culture in general. And, it's bigger than just saying the game of basketball, which is in your wheelhouse, but it's bigger than that in terms of just our school and community in general. So, yeah, that's great. Now, that's one part of what you've been doing here. Your main job, though, outside of being a fifth grade teacher, is coaching our varsity boys basketball team. You're the face of it. You're leading it. Tell us how this season has been going for you guys.
Yeah, being the varsity boys coach is something I absolutely love. I think people can tell that. I'm very honored to be the coach here. This is my third year here, which is I'm really excited about having the longevity here in a program in Chequamegon. This year is losing Isaiah Dietz, Dawson Heisler, John Wartko, Xavier Eimerman, Jacob Bushman. When you lose 5 seniors like that, of course there's going to be some new guys coming in, some new faces, of course. And so for me, it was exciting to have, it's just as a coach now to try some new things, have some new ideas, new concepts. We have a different type of a team this year. We lost a lot of height, so we kind of you gotta adjust to your personnel. You can't always just play the same way year after year if you have kind of a different pool of talent. So, this year, one thing I can say about our guys is, I think, the commitment that Isaiah Dietz had for the game of basketball and just committing himself to being in the gym when most people are not, on the weekends and the evenings, staying after a game and shooting free throws till 11 o'clock at night has now trickled down to some of a good portion of our guys. We have guys who have had that effect of him, and he was picking them up at their house, and now they're sophomores, freshmen, juniors, seniors, and they're showing that commitment for the most part in the off season, willing to get better. Your guys like Cooper Mikulski, Jared Heckendorf, AJ Morgan, Robert Schinnebeck. These guys they live in the gym. They want to be in the gym. And Ian Schleyer, Marcus Purdy, and there's more I'm sure that I'm forgetting, but that's a huge part of a program, right? When you got guys that want to be in the gym and are willing to get better on their own. Because an hour and a half, 2 hour practice, it's impossible to work on every skill every night that you need to. Yeah. So it really makes my job easier, and it's more fun when you get guys that want to be in the gym, that want to come to practice. So, we're 2-7 to start the year, but I'm not focused on the wins and losses. We're focused on getting better and playing better. We can see it in film. We can see it as throughout the game. Are we playing together? Do we have continuity? Are we connected, or is it isolation basketball, which is not what we want? We want to share the ball. We want to be selfless. Try to find the best shot available. We talk about getting good shots and getting great shots, but it all has to do with us being connected and having good team chemistry. And we have a group of guys that have not played a lot of basketball together. Yeah. So it's taken time, but I think if you stick with us throughout this year, we get to the latter half of the season. Our goal is always to be playing the best basketball towards season end when playoff brackets come out. And so we feel if we can do that, we're going to give ourselves a chance to, get in the playoffs and, hopefully get another playoff winner, even more.
Yeah, create some havoc. Yeah, and the end goal here is obviously you want to pile up as many wins as you can, but yeah, you want to keep getting better and seeing that improvement. And yeah, we are a very young squad, and and you like playing a difficult, challenging schedule as it is. But when you play your opponents, there's no sympathy. They're going to bring it too. So, sure. But in saying so, it's going to bring out the best in us too, because either you try to get better and improve, or you kind of just stay where you're at. So the end goal, the result is to keep getting better, and there's certainly signs there that we are. So it's kind of just it's like a big puzzle. You just keep chipping away at it and trying to complete it and get it there, and we're certainly on our way. So now that we're not quite at the halfway point in our season. We play 24 games, but we're kind of inching closer to a halfway point. is there any players in particular that you feel like as the season is kind of wore on now that, because you are relying on particularly a lot of sophomore contributions.
For sure.
Are there some kids that are kind of standing out? You're like, okay, we're going to be okay. They're kind of figuring things out. Are there a few kids that you could highlight?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, being 9 games in now, it took us a little while to kind of find our rotation, as coaches call it. How many deep are you? And so, we're, of course, led by AJ Morgan and Robert Schinnebeck. AJ's got the most varsity basketball experience on the team, so he is looked to a lot. Obviously, he's looked to do a lot of things, and is a huge part of our scoring. There's no question. He's averaging about 17 points a game. So AJ is our leader in the scoring department, but we're also asking a lot of AJ defensively. We're asking more of him, demanding more of him, and he's really started to come around in that area. I've been really proud of his development there. Just because you're a senior, you're never done learning and getting better, and that's something that we're really working on with him and Robert and Jeremiah Miguel. Is as seniors, you still can get better throughout the year. So our 3 seniors, AJ, Robert, and Jeremiah, are we rely on, but we have 2 juniors, 2 juniors on the varsity level, I should say, and that is on Isaiah Bogard and Corbin Phelps. Corbin has probably the second most varsity experience because he started pretty much every game last year as a sophomore. Brings a lot for us. He's really started to get a little more comfortable this year. He's not, last year he was more of a role player, I guess you could say, whereas now he is looked to be that, second, third scorer, which is a different role for him. So it's coming around for him. He did play pretty well the other night at Mellon, and he's got confidence. He just has to be willing to go out there and play with freedom and be willing to shoot the ball and attack the rim. Isaiah Bogard, he's a young man who gives it everything he's got. He buys into the defensive end so well, and that's really where we pride ourselves on, is defense. But then Cooper Mikulski is really, as a sophomore, I think is a huge bright spot for us. Putting the ball in the basket, he can score in a lot of different facets. I find myself having a lot of the same conversations with Cooper as I had with Isaiah when Isaiah was a junior, Isaiah Dietz. I have a lot of those conversations with Cooper. Talk a lot about, using your shot fake to get to the rim, not settling for jumpers. When Cooper can get to the rim, we feel like he's got a very, very good chance of putting the ball in the basket. That's how we always felt with Isaiah. So Cooper is, it's very exciting to have somebody very athletic, but Cooper is a gym rat. I mean, that young man loves to be in the gym. He wants to be in the gym, and is a huge part of getting other guys in the gym as well. Jared Heckendorf battling some health issues right now, but Jared is definitely a huge part of our program. Somebody who I see as our one of our main point guards. But right now we're hoping, wishing him the best of getting healthy, and I know he wants to be there. We know how much he loves basketball and his teammates, so we can't wait to get him back, fully healthy. But he's had a good good start, when he's healthy and plays well, plays very selflessly for us. Then after that, we got Marcus Purdy and Antonio Petzel, our 2 sophomores that have stepped up for us, are earning more minutes and kind of getting a bigger role, which is, that's a lot for sophomores sometimes, but we definitely think that they're going to be able to help us more towards the end of the year now, but even in the future years as well. I don't think I missed anybody today.
It's hard to do that.
I think I got everybody that I need to. As far as the guys playing the majority of our varsity time.
Yeah. So, well, and there's certainly opportunities. Chequamegon community come out and see the kids play. They're on the road tonight, Friday. Today's Friday, January 5th, when we're airing this. So they'll be at Auburndale tonight. But next week there's an opportunity. They go to Abbotsford on Tuesday, and Friday they're hosting Red Lake. So the season kind of continues on for the most part. The boys will play about 2 games on average per week, maybe 3 games in 1 week or 1 here, depending on as we get moving. But typically it kind of comes out to two games a week. But please pay attention to when we're home, and if you want to get on the road, we certainly encourage people to come on the road and watch us too. But these kids are working hard; they really are, and like Coach said, we're going to try to keep developing a good season this year, but also looking ahead to of giving our community a basketball program that's something that we can all be proud of, and hopefully over time it's a basketball program, not necessarily that you judge success by winning championships all the time, but it's a program that we can be proud of, and that, over time that, the kids might change, but, the expectations of putting a good product on the court are always there. So I appreciate your efforts in getting us to that spot, and things are going really good. So thank you, Coach, for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
And good
I
luck
appreciate
tonight.
it.
You
Yeah,
bet.
thank you so much.